Listen, do not fuck with AEW. No. I don't think y'all listening to me. You can't fuck with AEW. I don't give a damn what anyone says. It was a huge W for AEW right now, alright? WWE best come correct ASAP. Otherwise, it's gonna be a huge L for y'all. Yo! What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos, so welcome to a new episode of Take It to the Table, hosted by Wrestling Republic. You know I'm going to be starting talking about right now. We're going to obviously delve into the card of AEW All Out afterwards, but first, I gotta get this off my chest. Bryan, well, formerly known as Bryan Danielson, and not only that, Adam Cole debuted on AEW All Out. Two huge names debuting on that pay-per-view. When's the last time you've actually been able to say that? Alright, for any promotion. This was freaking incredible, and the way they done it was freaking sweet. Oh my goodness. Alright, so for those that haven't seen the whole pay-per-view yet, obviously I'm going to delve into spoilers, everything. Obviously I pretty much gave it away by the title in the thumbnail, just everything, but basically, let me just break it down for y'all, alright? So, this happened at the end of the show. So, the main event was, of course, Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. Good match, very good. Ended with a avalanche, one-winged angel from the top turnbuckle, completely killed Christian Cage, ended done. So Kenny was busy celebrating. Then the club came down. The rest of the elite basically came down, and then they started beating down on Christian Cage. Then Jurassic Express came down, tried to make the save for Christian Cage, but they also got pretty much laid to waste. And then Kenny Omega jumped onto the mic and said, look, I put in the work day in, day out, year in, year out. Anyone that's even close to taking this title away from me is already retired, they're not here, or they're already dead. So as soon as he said that, for people that doesn't know, obviously Adam Cole was in the Elite, on the show being the Elite, and before he signed to WWE, they basically killed off his character on the show, so he actually died. So as soon as he said that, that's when people were just like, oh my god, he's actually going to come out. Screen went to black. And then ultimately you see Adam Cole's name come up on the Titantron. Well, not Titantron, but the big screens, I should say. And yeah, Adam Cole comes out. It was a bit of a clue because he came out from the heel entrance. So he came out, started, talking smack to the Elite. And then he goes and super kicks Jungle Boy in the mush, and yeah, he basically said like these guys are my best friends. I wasn't gonna turn on them. There's no chance in hell I would ever, that no one can take away the fact that they are the most dominant team in professional wrestling today. And yeah, it was just, we thought that was the major announcement that Adam Cole has now officially signed to AEW. But not only that, here comes this remix version of the Rise of the Valkyries, and out comes Bryan Danielson. Bryan fucking Danielson, my lord. And then he just completely walks down, sides with Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. They bring it to the Elite, and then the final bit was basically Daniel Bryan hits the running knee on one of the Young Bucks, and yeah, side goes home happy. And then obviously the camera was panning between Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan. They're going to be having a match. They're going to be having a feud right now. Their match that they had on that write-up episode of SmackDown, when the main roster crew was basically held hostage in Saudi Arabia, and they had their match on SmackDown when NXT came over and looked at that. That was a great match. You could tell that the chemistry's there, and they're going to be building up on this. Daniel Bryan, is so good to see him. So good to see him back. It's crazy to see him in a non-WWE ring. I'll be honest, it is crazy, but yeah, it's official. And now not only that, Adam Cole went to the same company that is running things there right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it was good. It was a great night, great pay-per-view. I can't say anything else about this pay-per-view. It was solid. There was one dud on the show, I must say, which I will get into once I review the card. But I just had to get this off my chest. I just finished watching it, and I was just like, "Yo!" I was expecting, because I was watching the show, and then I checked the timer, and it said it was 10 minutes left, and that's when the match had ended. I was like, "Okay, something major's gonna happen. Something has to happen here." I was expecting just one name, but two, both Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole debuts on AEW pay-per-view All Out. It was beautiful. I was absolutely hyped. The possibilities, the Elite versus, Jurassic Express and Christian Cage, loving it. Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan. So I need to get that Daniel Bryan out of my head. It's Bryan Danielson. He's no longer Daniel Bryan. It's looking. I'm sorry, but in the words of my friend Rides, it's looking peak. It's looking peak for WWE. I'm not just saying I'm not like a mark. I'm not like a fanboy, but you gotta call a spade a spade. It's like the possibilities right now. They have CM Punk, they have Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole. That's three big names in the industry alone, not just WWE, in the industry alone. People know who they are, whether they are WWE fans or not. Those are three names, and they are gaining momentum more and more. And like the fact that WWE have their head buried in the sand and don't consider AEW competition yet. Yo, look, when's the last time that WWE has bragged that their pay-per-view have sold out in 30 minutes? Go on, don't worry, I'll wait. When's the last time you heard them say they sold out a pay-per-view, or not even a pay-per-view, one of their weekly tapings, in less than 30 minutes? And you telling me that this company don't have fucking momentum? Man, all I can say is, it's what a great time to be alive. What a great time to be alive. What a great time to know that you can confidently say that WWE do not run things, and they are just in denial. They are in denial. Please, you can't tell me nothing about this. No one can check shit. Did you see how hyped that Chicago crowd was? And it wasn't even CM Punk. You know what I mean? They were hyped for that match. But I think Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole got the biggest pops of the night. Dare I say. You know what I mean? It was great. It was, all in all, another successful pay-per-view. More good than bad. Not much you can, if you compared it to SummerSlam, this one is obviously better. In my opinion. Not to say that SummerSlam was shit, but this just lived up to the billing. You know what I mean? It just lived up to it. There was a couple of blunders on there, I'll admit. Especially with one match being misplaced. That was a bit weird. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Welcome to AEW. Bryan Danielson, I got it right this time, and Adam Cole, baby. Okay, I've calmed down a little bit. Let's just get into the rest of the match card, all right? So, God, that one was just, I've never felt so hyped. Probably since a couple weeks ago when CM Punk debuted on Rampage. It's the momentum is so much on AEW side. Yo, WWE, pull your fucking head out of the sand and out your ass. Look, people will boycott your shit. all you will have is the pitney them. All you will have is the kids. I'm telling you, the amount of fucking potential. Yo, my boy Mr. Rhymes just put a tweet out. He basically just said he doesn't want to be that guy. He doesn't want to be that guy. But if there was ever a reason for WWE to be worried about AEW, it was definitely tonight. The fucking potential. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. It is. It was just a great time. But like I said, let's just get into all the rest of the match card. I don't want to shoot down everyone else that was on it, because it was a great show, great card. It was very enjoyable for the majority of it. Obviously, I'll get into the parts where I was just like, okay, but yeah. So let's start off with the pre-show, the buy-in. So obviously, there was a 10-man tag match between the Best Friends, and which consisted of Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and Jurassic Express, and they were against the Hardy Family Office, which consisted of Matt Hardy, Private Party, the Hybrid 2. And yeah, basically, yeah, and also the Blade was there. So yeah, the Best Friends won. I called this one. Made sense, you know. Hardy Family, even though they are kind of serious, but then they're not in anything substantial for them to really win. Everyone loves the Best Friends. It made sense for them to win. So that one was fine. That was 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Decent match. It's a match you would expect to get the crowd going for the main card. So that was that. Main card was started off with Miro, the current TNT champion, going against Eddie Kingston. This was good. I was kind of surprised that this started off the night, but it makes a bit of sense. Miro put a lot of damage onto Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, you know, is good at. He's got a good pain threshold. Took everything that Miro was throwing at him, threw it back at him. And yeah, it was good. Didn't expect Eddie Kingston to win. Even though there was a couple of people that said maybe he could, but yeah, I did think that he wasn't going to win. But yeah, that's so Miro retained via pinfall after doing, it was like a super kick because he was running the ropes and then he hit it. So that was pretty good. That was about 13 minutes long. Didn't feel that long, but it was good. Good start off to the show. Next up was Jon Moxley against Satoshi Kojima. This one was by the numbers. So far, the guys that he's facing from New Japan, I'm not saying that they're past their prime, but you could tell like you can't go full pelt as you would with the Kenny Omegas and whatnot. So it was a bit of a slow burner at times, but Jon Moxley can take a fucking punch. It was good. And yeah, so Jon Moxley got the win on that one by pinfall by hitting the paradigm shift, and then out comes an old rival of his, Minotauro Suzuki. To be honest, I don't know too much about him, but I know they have an old rivalry, and yeah, they were. Everyone was good. He's well over with the Chicago crowd when Suzuki came out. So and then they had a little back and forth. Suzuki won by hitting his finisher, the pile driver. So and they're having a match scheduled for Jon Moxley's homecoming this Wednesday night. So that should be pretty good. We'll see what happens there. And then next up was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Yeah, I got it right. Against Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. Good showing for Chris Statlander. This one also got right. I did think that Britt Baker was going to retain. She's well over. She just pretty much recently won the title. Even though it's kind of weird that they're still portraying her as a heel, considering that she's well over with the crowd, but she was doing. I think she did try to reinforce the heel. Heelness that she's meant to be, like, ignoring the ref count and all that kind of stuff. And then she hit the Panama Sunrise, which is actually called the Philadelphia Sunrise. So that should have been a huge clue as to who was gonna debut on that night. And she hits it nicely. Well, it was really well executed, very nice. But ultimately, she won via submission by the finisher. I can't remember what the name is called. But yeah, good showing from Chris Statlander. She has a future. Well, do I think she might be a women's champion in the future, maybe not. Maybe if they do maybe women's tag team titles, she probably will be able to hit all the titles. I don't think she might be a women's tag champion, but we'll see. So next up was, as I said in the last video, this was my match of the year candidate, and it was, I think, to me, in my opinion, it was the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships in a steel cage. Now, I understand that this might be very divisive. It is a divisive match. People love the, you know, the old school way of, you know, of tag team, and, you know, people hate the Spot Fest. Some people actually love the Spot Fest. Me personally, I love all kinds of tag team wrestling. As long as it's good, as long as there's actual chemistry, and you can put on a great match, I'm fine with both. I don't have a particular preference, because I'm thankful, I'm lucky enough to be born at a time of an era where there's been all different types of matches. So obviously with the Edge and Christians, the Hardys, the Dudley Boys, the Dudley Boys bring the extreme. The Hardy Boys bring the Daredevil stuff. Edge has a mix of both, but they're more grounded. So, and more innovative in terms of how to use, you know, weapons. Whereas obviously the Lucha Bros, it's all about the Lucha Libre style and Spot Fest. Same with the Young Bucks. So I've been lucky enough to be born at a time, or obviously shout out to FTR as well, where they're obviously more grounded, hard hitting, old school type of wrestling. So I'm lucky enough to be born in a time where it is really, you know, there's all different types of wrestling, and I enjoyed them all. I've enjoyed them all. So yeah, this one, just for the fact that they've impressed me so much from the first outing when I first saw them in the ladder match in their first pay-per-view for the AAA Tag Team Championships. I was just like, yo, fight forever. I legitimately mean that. Fight for fucking ever. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was good. Hard hitting, very, very close falls. There was definitely points where I thought Young Bucks was actually going to retain. Not that I would have an issue with it, but yeah, it was really good. And ultimately, Lucha Brothers became the new World Tag Team Champions. It was, yeah, hard hitting, bloody everywhere, all the way around. Some crazy innovative stuff. Ray Phoenix, I told you, Ray Phoenix was gonna run things on there. He's the king of the ropes, man. I'm telling you, I just really wish they could somehow get Kalisto and Rey Mysterio, have a triple threat: Ray Phoenix, Kalisto, and Rey Mysterio. That would be a wicked match. That, I'm telling you, if somehow Rey Mysterio goes to AEW, you know, hey. That's all me to say, my lord. But yeah, ultimately, great match. Definitely a match of the year candidate. So far, my match of the night. Definitely, it was great. So yeah, congrats to the Lucha Bros. And right now, that was actually the longest match of the night. It was 22 minutes. Did not feel that long. That's how you know. It was great. It didn't really feel that long. But yeah, moving on was to the 21-woman Casino Battle Royale match for a shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. And this was okay. This was alright. It had some decent moments. Yeah, a lot of back and forth. A lot of early eliminations that I didn't anticipate. I thought some certain people were going to be there a bit longer, but they weren't. And but yeah, ultimately the Joker ended up being Ruby Soho. So you know, everyone was saying it might be her, it may be Tessa Blanchard, it may be, you know, someone else from some NWA Power or something. But yeah, Ruby Soho came in, so she is all elite now, obviously. And yeah, she put in a great showing. So I think the last people that it consisted of was Ruby Riott, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, and it was the Bunny, I believe she was. No, it wasn't the Bunny. It was Penelope Ford. So Penelope Ford went out first, I believe. Then it was Nyla Rose. Then it ended up being Thunder Rosa and Ruby Riott. Then they had a little exchange outside on the ropes. But ultimately, Ruby Soho. See, I'm brainwashed with that freaking company. That's how bad they have a grip on our minds. But Ruby Soho is she won the Casino Battle Royale match. And yeah, she will now have a future title shot at a future AEW show. So we'll see where that goes from there. She's also the first person to come out as the Joker and win the Battle Royale. So good little stat on that. Congrats to her. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. But that one was only 5 seconds shorter than the Lucha Brothers match. That was also 22 minutes on the dot. So yeah, there's that then. So yeah, next up was Chris Jericho versus MJF, where if Jericho lost, the stipulation was that he would have to retire from in-ring competition in AEW. So it's definitely went how I expected it to go. Not to say that it wasn't great, it was very good. MJF comes out with he did the old school Y2J countdown as his entrance, came out and he came out saying Jericho's last match, and then yeah, it comes out in this Ric Flair robe and also the red tights, which by the way, if people don't know, the thing with the red tights, obviously he was mimicking Ric Flair, but I think it kind of went over a lot of people's heads, unless you're a smart fan, that usually whenever Ric Flair was in a high profile match and he was going to lose, he always came out in red attire. So that kind of give you and all the times that he actually wore red, if it was a high profile match, he does lose. So I don't think it's outright confirmed that, but it was just so coincidental. And it was a nice little nod from MJF. So when he came out with the robe and I saw the red tights and he had a little stitching on it saying MJF, I was just like, okay, yeah, you're definitely gonna lose. You know what I mean? Which I expected him to lose, because Jericho is even though he's winding down his career, he's still got a lot in the tank. There's so many new additions, great new additions, that I'm pretty sure he wants to work with. Hell yeah, I know he wants to reignite his feud with CM Punk. Daniel Bryan is in now. Maybe Adam Cole? I don't know. Inner Circle versus the Elite. Yeah, I don't think they've really rubbed shoulders. I don't think they have, not yet. But yeah, it's a great time. So good match. Little scare at the end, obviously, with the MJF pinned Jericho, and it was 1, 2, 3, but Jericho had his foot on the ropes, but then the ref still called it. But they restarted it. And yeah, then Jericho locked in the Walls of Jericho, and MJF tapped out. So he is no longer, even though he's technically hasn't lost, but now the undefeated streak is definitely done. So yeah, MJF has lost, and Jericho continues to fight another day. Okay, so next up was CM Punk against Darby Allin. CM Punk's first match in 7 years. Guy was looking jacked, looking real jacked, baby.
You're looking real jacked, baby. You're looking real jacked. You're looking real jacked, baby.
You're looking real jacked, in the words of Booker T. So yeah, he looked good. Huge pop, obviously. It's in his hometown. Darby Allin being, you know, is a complete daredevil. Brought it to Punk. Punk brought it to Darby Allin. Hit the GTS at the beginning, completely slumped him for him to go outside the ring. Perfectly done. Usually it's very tricky because people can get tangled up in the ropes, but as soon as he hit it, he just slid right through the ropes and out. And then he was trying to go for the Poison Rama, and obviously he paid the price. Hit another GTS, put out Darby Allin. Great match. CM Punk still has it, hasn't lost a step. Wasn't, you know, you could tell he wanted to. He takes pride in his craft, and you know, huge kudos to him, man. Looks good. Let's see where it goes, who he's gonna name out next. It looks like he's just gonna be naming people and taking them out, so I'm cool with that. And yeah, obviously at the end, Sting came out, tried to pick up Darby Allin. They shook hands. So I was kind of wondering, is there going to be a little turn here? But no, kept it clean, all good. So yeah, that was a great match, very good. So in this whole time, obviously we're burning through all the matches. We're not really burning through them, but a majority of them happened. And then I was wondering, hey, what's going on with Paul White's match? Well, guess what? It ended up being the co-main event. Why was this the co-main event? I will never know. So it was Paul White versus QT Marshall. this was really this one I didn't really agree with. This one did not deserve to be the co-main. Like, this is obviously, I'm sorry to say, this was what you would call the toilet match. And if you saw the crowd, a majority of people were the seats were quite empty. Everyone went for this was the toilet match. So I was just wondering, but if it was a toilet match, why put it as the co-main event? This should have been CM Punk against Darby Allin. Why they put this just before the main event did not really gel with me. I didn't agree with that, especially the fact that it was 3 minutes and 10 seconds. But either way, yeah, so it was by the numbers. The Goobers, Nick Komoroto and Aaron Solo just kept on getting thrown around by Paul White. And yeah, ultimately they all got chokeslammed or punched to smithereens or whatever. And then QT was obviously about to do something from the turnbuckle, dumbass. And yeah, gets chokeslammed straight to hell, 1, 2, 3. Nothing happened at the end. I was expecting maybe something to happen. No, faded to black, went to the next match. I was really disappointed in the booking decision on that. So we'll see what happens there. Then of course came to the main event, which was Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. I was about to say World Tag Team Championship there. And yeah, this was good. This was fine. Would I say this was better than their first match? I'm inclined to say no. Not to say that this was bad, but this one wasn't as strong as their first match on Rampage, I must say. The best part was the finish, I must say. The best part was the finish, and also the little bit where Kenny Omega, they were outside. Kenny Omega was about to do something off the barricade. I think he was going to do a moonsault, and he slipped, and he was like, I saved myself. And then he somehow was on the other side of the barricade, was able to turn himself whilst standing on top, and then do a moonsault onto Christian Cage. I could have went completely the wrong way. He could have completely slipped and fucked up, but he prevailed. And yeah, so that was cool. But then yeah, ultimately Christian Cage was trying to do the an avalanche kill switch off the top rope, but Kenny Omega changed it into an avalanche one-winged angel, completely decimated Christian Cage. And like I said at the beginning of the show, yeah, the Good Brothers, I don't know why I call them the Club. The Good Brothers came out, started attacking Christian Cage, and then obviously Adam Cole showed up, Jurassic Express showed up, and then Bryan Danielson showed up as well. So all in all, it was a perfect way to end the show. Very, very good. They weren't joking that it was going to be some big surprises. I'm happy for them. Like I said, if this was the last addition to the roster right now, I'm cool with that. Right now, I don't think you can beat Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole right now. Those are your two biggest additions, along with CM Punk, obviously. Those are your three biggest names you have under your roof right now. Bray Wyatt, like I said, I wouldn't say no to him showing up in AEW, but I just don't think he is the right fit with his character and his creativity. I just don't think AEW is the best place for him. But yeah, I would not say no to him, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't think that is the best place for him creatively. But yeah, other than that, great additions to the company. People are saying Buddy Matthews is next, formerly known as Buddy Murphy. I do think he's probably going to go Impact. It's a bit, like I said, it's a bit crowded now. It's definitely getting crowded in AEW right now. They only got 2 shows, and you got a 2-hour show, and you got 1 Rampage, and you're not doing pay-per-views every month. It's every 3 months. So you can't be getting everyone and hardly anyone's being used, and you're just throwing them on Dark. You know what I mean? Not to say Dark is bad, but Dark is meant to be kind of like, that should be their version of NXT. You know what I mean? The developmental enhancement talent. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, overall, this pay-per-view did so well. I'm so happy. This for me is getting a solid 9. This is getting a solid 9 out of 10. The only drawback was, of course, the misplacement of the Paul White and QT Marshall match. I think that was a spot well wasted. That's the co-main event. That definitely should have went with CM Punk against Darby Allin. Maybe that was CM Punk's request. He didn't want too much pressure on him. I don't know. But either way, any other match should have been the co-main event except that. That could have been in the middle somewhere. Just throw away. But I digress. And yeah, just the main event itself was good. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good. But the ending definitely elevated it up even more. You know what I mean? So 9 out of 10. I can't wait to see Dynamite this week. I really can't wait. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that is my thoughts on AEW All Out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe as always to this channel. And also, if you want to go and check us out, go to Wrestling Republic on Instagram. This episode will also be updated on IGTV as well. And be sure to follow me at official_TITTT. I'll put it down here right now. So also check out wrestling.com for all the news, debates, breaking news, topics, conversations, all that kind of stuff. Be sure to go and check out the website right now. I have been your host, Chaos. I'm going to get me something to eat. Until next time, guys. Peace. Bryan Danielson, my lord.